Hi. Hello, everyone. Hello, beautiful spirits. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here on this beautiful Sunday, spending your time with me. I've got my water here. Cheers, everybody. L'chaim. Well, good to see you all. Good to see you all. It is Sunday, January 29th. It is 11 a.m. here in beautiful downtown Portland, Oregon. I am your hostess with the mostest, the alter ego of Dr. Whimsy, the Oracle of Whimsy. I am here to make merry, get you to laugh, get you to smile. I hear some of you are freezing wherever you're at. Looks like there's a bit of a storm system hitting on the east. Well, I don't know if you'll feel happy for me or frustrated or what, but it is a beautiful sunny day here in downtown Portland, Oregon. And actually, I think I'm probably going to go out and do a walk later. Looks like I lost my tissue. Anyway, how is everybody doing? Is everybody good? Why is it that every time I sit down, I immediately lose my tissue? There's got to be something metaphysical to that. Oh, here it is. All right. Well, gosh darn it, it's good to see you all. This is, like I said, our brunch Sunday. Everybody in the world is welcome to this table. We are here to create heaven on earth. Hopefully, I can give you a taste of heaven for an hour and some change. That is what we are here to do. How can we collectively come together to create the world that we want to see in the world? And that happens through polite discourse. We ask that you be kind to all so that all can be kind to you. We don't do name calling here. We accept everyone. This is a salon. We believe that in polite discourse and mutual respect, we accept all peoples, race, creed, gender, schmender, political views. If you don't agree with me, that's fine, but we don't attack people. Okay, so that's how we roll here on the Sunday show. And we have extended our brunch to the four corners of the earth. So what am I having for brunch? I always have a green smoothie. Protein and Greens by Paradise. I use Protein and Greens by Paradise because it's got everything in it. And then I throw in a handful of mixed berries, some flax, some walnuts, and some oat milk, and sometimes half a banana for sweetener because there's no sweetener in Protein and Greens by Paradise. I don't work for the company. I just like the company. So as is also our way on Sundays, we dedicate the hour and change. We usually go over to a not-for-profit, to a charity. We raise money for charity. Some of us are church people. Some of us are not church people. So we have a kitty if you want to donate to the charity. Today is the Center for Policing Equality. And this fundraiser is dedicated to Tyre Nichols, who unfortunately passed at the hands of police brutality. Many of you have seen the video. I saw 1 to 2 seconds of it and couldn't continue to watch it. I prayed a lot about how I could kind of help us come out of the collective grief we're feeling for Tyre and his family. And the horrible has already happened. We can't change what has happened. We can meditate and reflect on it, and we can pray, how can we come together to do better? How can we help ourselves be better, be the change we want to see in the world? And I was researching not-for-profits, charities, and I found the Center for Policing Equality, and I decided to dedicate today's fundraiser to Tyre Nichols. So one of the things we learn if you study Stoicism is that you just have to keep going forward. You just have to keep going forward. We learn from the past, but we don't want to be so consumed by it we're not able to go forward. We learn what it is we need to change, how we need to change, how we need to all be better, how we need to check ourselves, be about our business, and try and be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. So for all those reasons, and because we also want to celebrate Tyre Nichols' life, that he did not die in vain, but to celebrate his life and think about all the positive things that can come from his life. And for all of that, today's donations are in his honor. And that looks like several channels are doing this, and we've already collectively, the channels raised $1 million for policing equality. So give it up to most people are good. Most people want to do good, and it's important that we hold on to that. All right, so the other thing I want to do is I want to give gratitude to you, those of you who have decided to be members of the channel, which of course helps the channel. It helps me be able to produce the channel and do this fun fantasy of mine, which is to be a bit of a performer. It's a lot of fun in your old age. You get to have fun like this. Donna Belk has become a recent fairy and angel, and we welcome her. I also want to get a shout out to everybody who joined us earlier in the week. A special shout out to Rena R. Hi, Rena. Marie Ramirez, thank you for your upgrade to Elders, Healers, and Empaths. Geocosmic Valentine, thank you for re-upping again for Healers and Empaths. Miss Sharon, hello and welcome. Michelle Knight, thank you for re-upping. And also thank you, Michelle Knight, for the herbs and also for the Jamaican Blue Mountain, which is one of my favorite cups of coffee. A little too pricey for me, so whenever I get it as a gift, I'm very grateful. RSA West, welcome. Holly McDaniel, thank you as well. Mara Moore, welcome as well. And Karen Hansen, of course, thank you. To the new Patreons over at our Patreon channel, we want to give a shout out to Tangerine Samurai and Jean Johnson. Thank you. Thank you. With all of that said and done, oh my goodness, let's come together and create a little fun, a little heaven on earth. Tell me where you're coming from. Tell me what you're drinking, what you're eating. Tell me how the weather is. Let's all get to know who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I also want to give a shout out of gratitude to Joel Tilson. He is one of our moderators. Desiree Roboto, thank you so much. And Cartomancy Mesquite, who is now at reaching the teacher's level. She is also becoming a teacher of heart-centered remote viewing. We've watched her evolve and become quite an impressive remote viewer. I don't know if she's scared, but she scares me with her accurate. She's starting to become very accurate. Melody Harmon, also thank you to you for helping out today. Hello, Gigi Bardo Lord. Hi, Linda, Jill Linda, Donald Lampert, thank you for being a member. Chris Crowdis is in the house. Thank you. Much gratitude. Hi, Martha. Hi, Renee R. Thank you for being a member. Pam C.H. Cout. She is good and cloudy. She's in the East Bay, California area, and she says it's a cold 46 degrees. Oh my. Ann Harmon, hello. Welcome to you as well. Teresa Halderan, I'm glad you made it. Karen W., glad you made it as well. I think we've already given gratitude. Oh, Rising Aquarius Moon has upgraded to Elders and Empaths. Good to see you. We'll be giving a talk tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the trance state and how you can enter trance states in order to access information in the collective conscience. It ought to be a very interesting lecture at the Elders and Empaths level. If you'd like to support the channel, it's $2.99 if you are a fairy and angel. And we get together on Saturdays. We do free readings for people, elders, empaths, and healers. We have lecture series on how to be a healer and a remote viewer. And of course, the benefactors level, which is $99 a month, which comes with a free reading from me once a month and free consultations, health consultations, in addition to all the other benefits. Looks like Elsie Krenzel is coming from Austin, Texas, and Sandy Miller, 27 degrees in Oklahoma. My goodness. Keep yourself warm. Hi, Elsie. Good to see you here. Brady, Dreams Coach Extraordinaire. Always great to see her. Very happy to see you and very helpful. Kathy Sandoval is in Laramie, Wyoming. She says it's 3 degrees and the roads are closed around here. Well, keep yourself safe, Sandy. Rebecca's in Denver, 12 degrees. Oh my, you guys are freezing out there. Oh my Lord. Catherine Rush, rainy all day in Houston. Well, you guys do get a lot of rain in the wintertime. Looks like Joel Tilson's having oatmeal mixed applesauce. Well, that sounds absolutely delicious. You know what I like to do with my oatmeal is I like to have the thick cut, which has a lower glycemic index. You can put nuts and seeds in it, which is going to slow down how quickly it burns, also gives you a little bit of protein. And then you can also throw in some berries. Yeah, that's a nice combination if you're making a pottage that's nice and complicated. Good complex carbs loaded with nutrients. Sometimes you can also put a little bit of protein in Greens by Paradise. Mix a scoop of that. You wind up with some green oatmeal, and then you're also getting the nutrition from that. Darnice Niece is in Nebraska, and she's eating she or they is eating a veggie soup. Yum, yum. Thank you, everyone who has donated to our charity, Center for Police Equality. Yes, Joanna Carson, you're absolutely right. We pray that that your private system works and you guys don't have another breakdown of the electricity or people being charged $100 an hour or whatever else is going on. Here is the beautiful Mila, and as you can tell from the sweeping of the tail, she's looking for someone to play with. Mila, did you want to look outside and see your birdies? Look, there's a birdie outside. She doesn't believe me. Well, let's get cracking and let's talk about the news. We've talked a little bit about Tyre Nichols. If you guys still need to talk about it, we can absolutely do that. It looks like this has led to some major changes in Memphis, and that's good. Every time these things come out, we hope that the person didn't die in vain, right? How can we turn this nightmare into something positive? And we see from the number of people that have donated to the Center for Policing Equality, he gave his life, but $1 million is now going towards a really honorable movement, and other lives will be saved because of him. And so that's a powerful thing that we can all meditate on at this difficult time. All right, the other thing that's in the news now, to change things up a little bit and get you all maybe chuckling, it looks like George Santos is the gift that keeps giving. I promised you a slow burn. I promised you that the GOP would be cannibalizing itself. And he is the gift that keeps giving, because it looks like, in addition to the fact that he was caught with all these lies, looks like there are major civil lawsuits against him. And it looks like people who voted for him under false pretenses, looks like they could be doing a class action lawsuit against him. Oh my, he's going to be running from lawsuits for the rest of his life. But hold up, the Department of Justice has also stepped in. Looks like the Department of Justice is investigating the fact that he forged documents. Oh my, discuss. Forged documents from where the money was coming from, because the people he claims gave him the money didn't give him the money. And now Mother Jones has done an expose on George Santos. Oh my, I've got to take a cup of coffee. I'm verklempt. All right. I am just overwhelmed. I got to take a sip of coffee. Delicious. Jamaican Blue Mountain. Thank you, Michelle Knight. You are perfection. And so is this coffee. All right. So when the Mother Jones investigated the people that had been large donors to George Santos, they looked at the names and they found out that these people don't exist. The names of the people, they traced the names. These people don't exist. So if they looked at the addresses, they contacted people that lived at those addresses, and the people that actually lived at those addresses said, "We don't know George Santos. We never donated any money, and that's not our name." So it goes back again to Kevin McCarthy's money problem. Gwen Stefanic is in trouble. Where did this money come from? The Department of Justice is looking at forged documents, people who say that that is not their signature. Do you want a quick burn or a slow burn? Now, Democratic strategists say, oh no, we want a slow burn that goes until October. Why would the Democratic strategists want this to go on? Just don't know. There's no rush. Because Americans have slow memories. If they get rid of this guy now and they clean everything up and successfully try to bury everything with propaganda, that's not going to be as powerful as if it's a slow burn. Everything comes out slowly. And then it goes back to those remotes we've talked about, where you pull a string regarding the money, where we follow the money. If you look at what I had said a couple of weeks ago, go back a month ago, 6 weeks ago, when I went into an altered state, and I went in and I looked at Kevin McCarthy, I saw the DOJ, I saw he's got a money problem. His money sources are under investigation. Now we're finding out that Kevin McCarthy is the person that funded many of these campaigns. And so they're pulling the string now, right? They're pulling the string, and they're finding out that the people who claim they donated either did not donate or don't exist at all. So what do you think is going to happen after Mother Jones and these investigative reporters start pulling the string and finding out that it's all fake? They're going to start looking at other people, because the other people who had the money, then they're going to start looking at their donors. So they're going to start looking at Gwen Stefanic. They're going to start looking at Kevin McCarthy. And when that happens, you've got a slow burn turning into an implosion. And if you time it right around September, October. Does that work for you? Those of you who are interested in Democratic strategies, Elsie Stefanik. Did I say it wrong? Elise Stefanik. Sorry. Elise Stefanik. Thank you so much. Feel free to correct me. So Elise Stefanik is in trouble. And it's just going to continue unraveling. And what it really goes down to is it goes back to this idea of dark money, right? It always goes back to the remotes we did a few years ago, meeting on mega yachts, secret meetings, money being transferred, foreign businesses. What's scary is the foreign governments that are involved, the Russian mob, Saudi Arabia, and now stuff is coming out about North Korea and China. What's also scary, and we can certainly throw on it, is how compromised the Supreme Court is, right? So we're now getting leaks out of the Supreme Court talking about just how compromised the Supreme Court is, how easy it is to get in and speak to these people and give your opinion and maybe throw a little money around. Is it going to get better or is it going to be worse? Of course, the Supreme Court, if it's compromised, is going to say that that Citizens United is constitutional because they're corrupt, right? So it becomes the issue of those in power want to retain the power. And is money I guess the question I'm asking to you is, what is greater, our Constitution or foreign money? If the mantra of these people is that capitalism is godly and democratic socialism is evil, I can't believe people actually bought into that. When democratic socialism is probably much more in keeping with Christian values. We help those who cannot help themselves, right? Good Judeo-Christian values, Buddhist values, Muslim values. You help the vulnerable, right? But somehow they've been able, through the twisting of whatever, to convince people that this is somehow virtuous. And so I guess the question for all of us right now is, how vulnerable is our democracy? What can we do now to protect our democracy? What do y'all think? Can we still save our democracy? What do y'all think? Yes, no, maybe. I'm seeing a lot of great food recipes. Joel Tilson, he makes his pancakes with Bisquick, adds a little vanilla and eggs, and whole milk, and it changes everything. Interesting. Joel Tilson, stop money from foreign sources. If the criminals are in power, then can the criminals make the crimes legal? It goes back to foreign lobbyists, Steve Bannon, Roger Stone. Now Adam Waldman is finally getting attention because Deripaska is in trouble because of his communication with the ex-FBI officer, right? If they're making it legal to do these sorts of things, then what can we really get them for, right? What can we get them for? We need to, things are getting better, but they're getting better very slowly, right? They're getting better very slowly. Yeah, Joanne Carson, the Department of Justice arresting people from the top. But again, if the laws are made by the people in power to keep them in power, how slow is the movement? Thank you, Melissa Miller, for donating to Center for Policing Equality. And thank you to all the anonymous donors as well. Karen Pooler has made a $20 donation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Zena, for the $25 donation. Much appreciated. Thank you, Anonymous, for the $20 donation. And another Anonymous, Sam Nomad, thank you for the $20 donation as well. So let's think about that. In terms of Putin news, Joel Tilson wants to know if Santos is close to being indicted. I saw Santos being in Congress for 2.5 to 3 months. And Pedro is saying that his ego is such that he won't leave. He'll have to be drug out. And that's pretty much what I saw. I saw a child, an incredibly emotionally immature 3-year-old that was sitting, when I did a remote view on Santos, who was refusing to leave Walmart because it's my house and I won't want to leave. And so he's going to have a temper tantrum and refuse to leave because he doesn't want to leave, and he's got the money and he's got the power. So he's going to have to literally be drug out of there. So to get this nut job out of there is going to take us up to 3 months. What's weird about Pedro is that I think they might be covering up the fact that he was underage. I'm not sure. Take it with a grain of salt. But he was born 9/11. They were dating in 2014. If he was 18, then he's supposed to be 26 right now, but it doesn't appear like the math is working. He's claiming that he did have his 18th birthday at the time that George Santos, it's starting to look a little weird. It's starting to look very, very strange, that whole thing. I'll let the investigative reporters have been doing a great job. And so far they're saying that he did have his 18th birthday, but it's like, are you sure about that? It's this whole entire thing. This guy is crazy. I mean, the whole thing is crazy. And like I said, you don't have to eat popcorn. You can switch to hummus. You can switch to another snack. I'm a little sensitive to chickpeas. Anybody here get headaches when they have too much fiber? You just feel a little, maybe pretzels. Pretzels are low cal, right? But yeah, this is a slow burn. And it also goes back to that whole idea of the Republican Party cannibalizing itself, right? Because imagine the stress that they're under as the DOJ circles in on the money and follows the money and follows the money and follows the money. And you've got women yelling at each other, "You took McCarthy's money," right? That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. "Oh, you're happy to take his money." Where'd the money come from? Who are the donors? And now you've got DOJ saying, hold off on the civil suits because we're looking into falsified signatures and we're following the money. So it's quite delicious. But this is not a movie. This is like a mini series, right? This is like, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I think what we're going to do now is, because I think we've just had so much fun up to this point, we're going to do the Empath's prayer. Would you all like to hear the Empath's prayer? Yes. Nope. Usually you do. And we're going to just do a good collective reading. Would everybody like to have a reading? So the idea of a collective reading is that if you study Carl Jung, everyone's consciousness is part of a greater consciousness. And so when I do the Empath's prayer, I pray that the message that within the collective, you receive the message that is specific to you within the collective reading. So that is how the collective reading. So even though it's a collective, it's also a personal reading to you. So would you all like to hear that? We'll do the Empath's prayer and then we'll give you a collective. Good. Yes. Oh, hi, Geriatric Brig. Good to see you here. Hi, Joyce Pietros. All right, I'm getting the yes. Let's go for it. Say the prayer with me. If you know it, we'll put out some positive energy. Okay. All right, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively as a community, we say, Amen. Let's do it. Let's give you your reading. What does Spirit want us to know today? Look at Mila. She's got that suspicious look while she watches the cards. What are you trying to do over there, Whimsy? Oh my, we've got 666 members. We need another member to come on and join us. Oh, somebody left. Okay, so the first thing that Spirit is talking about is the fact that we cannot grow. We cannot learn without being changed. With knowledge comes change. I'll give you an example. When I was starting school in my 30s, I started at a community college. And sometimes I'd have to get up at terrible hours, 5 a.m. to catch a 7:30 class. And I would tell myself, I got to be motivated. How do I get motivated to get up and catch that 7:30 a.m. biology class? And one of the things I told myself is, with new knowledge, I will be changed for the better. I will be changed for the better. Some classes were great. Some classes were painful. Learning can be painful. Learning can be difficult and hard and treacherous and sad, like looking at the film footage of when Tyre Nichols, was an innocent child, was brutally murdered, right? It hurts to learn. Sometimes the truth breaks our hearts, and the truth changes us. And it changes us potentially for the better. Because now we have knowledge we didn't have before. You cannot go back to what you were. We cannot unsee the things we see. But once we have knowledge, we have power. Once we have the truth, we have power. And we have the ability and the tools to do something positive with that information. And so whatever is going on in your life right now that may be difficult for you to see, family, friends, relationships, the nature of your own health, the growing older, facing our own death, the state of the world right now. Once we have that knowledge, we are forever changed. So where we are at right now is the death card. We are being changed. We are being changed forever. The question you have to ask yourself is, how can the truth make you better? The pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of the truth, the pursuit of real news, accurate reporting. Right? It's one of the things we've talked about. The truth about our families, the truth about our relationships. Your karma card right now is Archangel Michael comes to you with the sword of truth. We think about angels, we want to think about it as beautiful and positive, from the Hebrew word malachim, The messenger comes and he carries the sword of truth, Archangel Michael. Often you'll see blue around Archangel Michael. From a Buddhist perspective, it's neutral. We as human beings can have an emotional reaction when we see something brutal or horrible. Or as Pam CAKS would say, ashe, ashe, ashe. The more truth in the Nigerian community, in the Yoruba tradition, the more truth we have, the closer we are to God consciousness. But part of, when you see things from a perspective of God consciousness, you also weep because you see the suffering of the world. So truth is neutral. Sometimes the truth is beautiful and wonderful, and sometimes the truth is painful and it hurts you and it breaks your heart. But the base of the matter is you are at a point in your life where you can handle the truth, knowledge, seeing things as they are, but understand that you will be changed forever. Where we are at right now, you have been called, whether you are consciously aware of it or not, at this time for a reason. This is the message from your spirit guides, and this is the message that I am to deliver to you at this time. You have been specifically called to this time in human history for a reason. There is a reason that you are here now, and you are called to be a judge. You are called to be a witness of these times for a reason. You've been called for a time such as this. And so we are carried by the energy of Yehuda, who is the keeper of the tribe. And he is called to judge the situation, the truth of things, and that things are changing because we are seeing things as they really are. This is the year 2023 of the account and the reckoning. It cannot be avoided, it cannot be delayed, and it cannot be denied. And so you've been called to bear witness to it. We've talked about this powerful archetype before. Its origins are ancient and go back to the Yoruba of Nigeria. Chango, who seeks justice absolute. His wife is Oshun. The Queen of Wands is his consort. They stand in judgment with the heavy staff, and they have to make tough decisions because they've been called to be the judge of this time. One of the reasons that you were called to this time was because and picked to be incarnated in this lifetime is not because you did something wrong. You've misunderstood your incarnation. You were called to this time because Spirit needs the strongest among us to be incarnated at this time. And you were the strongest. And so that was why you were picked to come to this incarnation, to come to this world at this time and to bear witness, because you can handle it. Even if you don't think you can handle it, you can handle it. You come with strength. Now, when you look at the strength card, it comes to you as a time to be gentle. You judge the situation, but you also come with compassion and the ability to cool the angers, the fear. You come with strength. What is above you? You have the star above your head. You have blessings from Spirit. So you've received an anointing at this time. What you sit in, it goes back to, we have a spirit guide. The group has called her Miss Mabel. I don't know where the name came from, but that's the name. And one of the things that the spirit guide of the channel always says is she tells us to be about our business child. She is a stoic in the sense that the past is dead. It's never coming back again, right? Those who have been persecuted, been victims of violence. We don't want their lives to be in vain, right? The past is dead, but how can we be about our business to make the world a better place? We have incarnated here as strong people to bear witness, to see the truth of things, and it has transformed us, and it has changed us for the better. And so that is why we are here. We are here to save the planet. We are about our business. All we can be in control of is my plate, my table, my life, and doing the work to the best of my ability, putting my ego aside, and doing my job. Like, my job is to entertain people and also to be a naturopathic doctor. I cannot be consumed by what other people think of me, what else is going out in the world. I can only humbly take what's been put in front of me and with humility do the best work I can do. King of Pentacles, he's hidden, he's quiet, he's of the earth, he sits in the heart, and he does his business. What we are coming out of in the past, Six of Wands. So you've already done so much work for yourself. You've already won in the sense that you're very clear about what your purpose in the world is, even if you don't realize it. This is also an upward trajectory in your life, right? Because Six of Wands is all about going upward. It's all about success. It's all about victory. I read it literally as a 6-month period because wands, dendrochronology, we read time through the trees, right? Through the tree rings, right? So we can read time with the wands. So a wand is a month period. So we have a 6-month period we're entering into between now and 6 months where you're in an upward trajectory. Your mind is clear. You're about your business. And you're doing what you have to do to take care of yourself and be the change you want to see in the world. This is another message we keep getting from the universe. Love is as perennial as the grass. Love is as simple as a choice. You're walking down the street one day, you see a homeless baby kitten crying that got lost from its mother. You pick it up, you pet it, you realize it has fleas, you decide to love it, you take it home, you save a life. Love is a choice that we make from moment to moment. It's something that exists inside of us because we are of the Creator. We are of the earth and the sky, as the Navajo would say. We are their child. We're the child of Mother Earth and Father Sky. They come together and they make a baby, and we're the baby. And the ultimate function is to be that love and that goodness in the world, right? So Ace of Cups comes to us. Love is a choice. And also you have Star. So you are loved. It is irrefutable that you are loved. You are loved in every cell of your body. Choosing to love yourself is much more difficult. It's not that you are not loved. You are loved beyond measure, but can you love yourself? Can you see all that you are and love yourself? This is the fundamental question. It isn't that others don't love you. It's perhaps that you are afraid to love yourself as the universe loves you. So is it you holding yourself back? Understand that in every moment you can choose love. Where you're at right now, how can you take the best years of your life, which are ahead of you? How can you take this moment and bring it forward to create something positive in the world? The Three of Wands. Your luck has been, your luck card comes to you. Your wish has been granted. Three of Wands waiting for your ship to come in. How can I take this love and this goodness and bring it into the world? That is the fundamental question. Others in relationship with you. Not everybody is out to get you. Not everybody is in conflict with you. They may have a different way of helping. It's like Meghan Markle and Kate, right? I like them both. I've done remote viewings on both of them. They have very different personalities, but when you go into their hearts, they both have beautiful hearts. So you may disagree with how somebody is fixing the world or saving the world or how they manage or how they do certain things, but that's okay because you have an opposition ace of wands. Others are just as strong, just as courageous, just as determined. Doesn't mean that your mission isn't important. It's just different than mine. The hope and the fear at this time, afraid of the world, afraid for my retirement, afraid of the cold, of the winter is coming, right? So the Nine of Pentacles is security. How can I be secure in the garden? We always say do an account and a reckoning. Do an account and a reckoning. Look at your finances. We're very practical here, right? Look at your assets. Look at your debts. Clean your home from top to bottom. Get rid of the junk you don't need. Keep your life minimalistic. Live below your means. Nine of Pentacles is a fear of one's safety and one's own security in the ninth house. And the final outcome for you is the Sun. The more you know, the more knowledge you have, the more truth you have about your situation. Yes, sometimes it hurts to see things as they are. But again, this is the time of the account and the reckoning. Sometimes we see things we don't want to see, but it is our choice to be changed for the better. And with the Sun is an awareness or a knowledge of the truth coming in. And again, base card is we are changed. And the truth is here, whether we want, we may not want to accept the truth. We may not want to look at the truth, but it is there and we will be forced to deal with the truth. Some relationships are coming to an end for many of us, and that leaves us baffled and confused. Well, why didn't that relationship work out? Because that's a good person and I'm a good person. Sometimes we have to do our work without certain people in our lives. It just works out that way sometimes. Overall, though, the message from Spirit is that this is the time of healing for all of us, for being true to our values. Stick to your own work. Do the best you can. You are headed in a positive place. The next 6 months will be revealing for you. The sun is coming out. You're not going to be homeless. That doesn't have to happen to you. And love is a choice that we make from moment to moment. All right. So I hope that reading and message from Spirit gave you some clarity today. And I thank you for listening. So I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, I like the Daily Stoic. I actually recommend that channel, the Daily Stoic. And he talks a lot about Marcus Aurelius and how it's difficult to be human. And I think that all we can do is our best. The truth is here, and we are forced to see the truth. The question is, how do we handle it? How do we go forward and be our best self? Thank you, everyone, for listening to that. All right, so your questions are welcomed. We don't do personal questions on Sundays. We do what are called blitzes. A blitz is a 3 to 5 minute 4-card reading. And people usually want to talk about politics. Sometimes they want to talk a little gossip. The royal family is always entertaining. If you have a question for me, you can just use a red check mark and I will try to get through as many blitzes as possible. I just need to get the order to blitz away, and then we can get started. Is it you, Joel, that started that? Who started the Blitz, Blitz, Blitz away? Oh, I have the order. Joyce Pietris is telling me to blitz, blitz, blitz away. Oh, good. Miter got her message from Spirit. All right. So the first question, thank you, is coming from, oops, hold on. Is coming from Rebecca. Ah, got something burning in my eyes. So as many of you know, McConegal is an ex-FBI person. He worked for the FBI, and unfortunately, he has been found to be taking money from Deripaska. Deripaska is an oligarch, a Russian oligarch with close ties to Putin. He also probably engineered the propaganda against Hillary Clinton because he felt like it would be better for his business if Trump won. He was actively involved in the Republican Party. His money is being traced back to the Republican Party and bribes. Hi, Mark. Good to see you. Mark Rhodes is here. Hi. Thank you for the chocolates. They were delicious. And we've talked about Adam Waldman now is back in the news. Finally, he is the lawyer for Deripaska. He also met with Julian Assange something like a dozen times. So finally it's coming out. So McConegal has been, I believe, arrested and indicted. Let's take a look here. Is he safe? What's going to happen to McConegal? Future of McConegal. McConegal is going to make a deal with the feds. You know, this goes back to people who were taking money. Deripaska, we know, had bought European citizenship by having bank accounts in Cyprus. We know, for example, that Mike Flynn was getting money out of Cyprus, so probably also linked to Deripaska. From McConegal's perspective, things are happening very quickly. This investigation is happening very quickly. They were monitoring people for a very, very long time. So he thinks he's going to be okay, and the investigation is happening very, very quickly. In terms of others he has opposition to, walking away from a sword that can't be won, and the King of Cups would lead me to think that for whatever reason the DOJ feels that they need to make a deal with him in order to advance this investigation. Here's the police raid. They need him to show them everything, every laptop, every computer, every foreign exchange, and they can't do that unless they get a cooperation. Also, they need to know if there are other agents involved because he was an FBI agent. The work is heavy, and you can see the police heavily on it. But look, the final outcome for McConegal is an offer, Ace of Cups, and his position is strong. They're going to have to make a deal with him because he's sitting on a load of information regarding money transfers and specifically, from what I'm hearing, suppressing data and investigations within the FBI and other people that were involved. And so because of his importance, one of the reasons why it was a public arrest was because they have to make a deal with him. But also his arrest sends a heads up to people who are currently buried that the feds are getting close. He feels, based on this remote, that he's going to be okay and that the feds are going to give him a slap on the wrist, which is incredibly frustrating for us. But the reason why is because he has so much darn information that they want to have access to. So for that reason, he's going to get off light. You know, I hate seeing those kinds of deals. I really do. I don't like seeing those kinds of deals. But with an Ace of Cups as an outcome, you know, there are other readers, but I have a feeling other readers are going to get the same results. Okay, so Jim Jordan's future. Here's somebody who was asking for a blanket pardon, right? Jim Jordan. So let's see what's going on with him. Miss Brazil, no more royal family news. I hear you. It's getting to be old. What's going on with Jim Jordan? The Justice Department is right over Jim Jordan. His career is finished, and he could be facing a police raid because he's one of the people that was named in the investigation into questionable dealings with Russia. That's basically what they're saying. You can see Queen of Swords is the Justice Department for me. She's Lady Justice. He took bribes. Here's a police raid. You know, I read Knight of Swords as police action. And look at his career in Congress, in the grave, finished. Let's do a clarification. Good questions, you guys. Thank you, Copper Broom. It's bad. He's in a lot of trouble. The problem with Jim Jordan is based on what I'm getting, because I'm getting the feed. As a remote viewer, I get the feed. He tried to make a deal with the Justice Department too late. At first, he was antagonistic. At first, he didn't want to cooperate with them, so he became part of the obstruction. One of the things that came out in some of the remote viewings that we did was that the Justice Department was being obstructed. That one of the reasons, and tons of money from questionable sources was going into lawyers engaged in obstruction of justice. So now the DOJ, that's what's been slowing down so many of these investigations, is tons and tons and tons of money going into obstruction, everybody having the same group of lawyers, everybody lying together. And it delayed things so much that the DOJ opened up a separate investigation into the lawyers and charging the lawyers with obstruction. So now what's happened is you have the DOJ and him attempting right over him to, hey, I'll do business with you. It's not going to work because the tower is coming. So and then he's got a judgment over him by the police. And so his career is over. And so basically he's advised not to talk to them. 4 of Cups. He waited too long. Also, I don't think the DOJ really wants to deal with him and play his game. You know, now when the wagon is circling, oh, I'll talk to you. I'll name names. Well, it's too late for that. 4 of Cups would also, even though his career is most likely coming to an end, it does not bode for him cooperating in the future once he's charged. He's one of the people that's on his way out. But to give you a perspective of just how wide this investigation is, you follow the money. You follow the money to banks in Cyprus and back to Deripaska and all these people that have been bribed. And then those people have to name names, and then they try to make deals. It just goes on and on and on forever. All right, Catalot. She wants to know how the Senate and the House are looking in 2024 for the Democrats. With a 4 of Swords, I would definitely say Jim Jordan's time in the House is limited. He's got a lot of stuff going on. I don't think Katie Porter is going to win in California. I think Adam Schiff is going to make it to the Senate. That's going to be my first prediction. I also see that because you have strong people in the Senate in 2024, like Adam Schiff, there is going to be, Adam Schiff does not tolerate any kind of compromise. There's a lot of police arrest taking place. It's, people call Adam Schiff, he's a hall monitor. He's betraying us. He's the guy who makes sure that the other Congress people are doing what they want to do. So he is the moral compass of the Democratic Party. And I definitely see him winning in the Senate, taking Feinstein's seat. Refusing to compromise, heavy work lay ahead for the Democrats. The other in relationship, you have these investigations seeking justice absolute. A lot of large businesses are going to have to answer for their behavior. Large businesses, people in positions of power. Murdoch is going down. We've talked about that. More police raids and grief lay ahead. And if you're a Democrat and you've taken money or been compromised, you'll get no sympathy, no quarter from Adam Schiff. He has no sympathy for anybody who behaves like that, and he will come after you. So it goes back to the account and the reckoning, and a lot of people are going to prison, and people in leadership who have unbelievable moral character like Adam Schiff wind up coming in and cleaning up the mess. And some of the people who have been compromised are Democrats. We have Manchin now is somebody who people have looked into his finances. Cinema, they claim to be Democrats. Same with the House. We can't assume that just because somebody is a Democrat, they're pure as the driven snow. There's been on both parties. Of course, it's a lot worse with the Republicans, but with someone like Adam Schiff coming into the Senate, it's going to be zero tolerance for that kind of crap. They are going to clean their house, scrubby clean. And that's one of the reasons why. And there are people that understand that that's necessary, and that's why they want Adam Schiff to be in the Senate. Good question. Okay, we already did that one. Okay, there was a strike in Iran, and people want to know who struck. I didn't know there were drones in Iran. My goodness. Was it Israel or somebody else that struck Iran? Or was it the United States? Israel take the drones. Oh, there's an investigation into it. Yes, probably it was. And I'll tell you why. Because the keeper of the Torah exacted justice, and the Torah would be Israel, Ta-or. So I'm going to go ahead and interpret this as Israel enacted justice. Also, blue and white are the colors of the flag. So I'm assuming that Spirit is telling us this is Israel. Torah, the law in Hebrew, to bear light and justice. That's who hit them. It had to do with the fact that a couple things are going on with Iran, like they're sending ballistic missiles to Ukraine. to Russia, and they're hitting Ukraine with ballistic missiles, threatening. They're doing a bunch of bad stuff. But evidently, there was an investigation into their money and their aid. And then Judge Judy comes up into the business. And then we have this country, I'm assuming is representing Israel, enacts justice. It's going to come out. We cannot confirm or deny. I think Israel's going to have to back Ukraine. First off, because Zelensky is Ukrainian, but he's also Israeli. And the company he worked for, the channel he worked for, is owned by a Russian-Israeli oligarch who has broken with Putin. So you have Putin, and then you have some oligarchs working against Putin. What is it, Abramov? Am I correct on that? So this is why some people have felt that Zelensky would be protected. But that looks like probably what's playing out. Okay, Miss Brazil says no royal news. We'll save it for Thursday. I'm getting tired of it too. Okay. Yes, Deripaska's coming back, and his lawyer, who's always hiding in the shadows, who I'm trying to out as much as possible. I'm doing my part, people. Okay. Will a Democrat take Santos' seat? Oh, I would think definitely, Patty, but let's see what the cards have to say. Ooh, I'm having a hot flash. Cheers, everyone. Verklempt. Will a Democrat take Santos' seat? The big house. Oh, Joel, I love your questions. Okay. Democrat in Santos' seat. Well, he's in a whole lot. He's in so much trouble. Oh my God. Stubborn, negative aspect. He's a child of Oshun in the Yoruba tradition. So you have the high vibrational energy of Oshun, which is I seek justice, absolute. And then you have the inverted Queen of Wands, which is my way, my house. I want, right, that. And I want everything. And I want luxury and beauty and gold, right? The color of gold. So those are the negative. Every archetype has a negative aspect, right? So he's a low vibration, but he's a child of Oshun. So boom, boom. I want Aries, right? You ever seen a 3-year-old Aries child that doesn't get what they want? I'm an Aries. And we want it all. We want all the candy. We don't want to share it, right? We're going to make ourselves sick. We eat so much candy, right? Selfishness, territorial, aggressive, war, right? So he presents as a child of Oshun, and then there's mounting. This guy's in so much legal trouble. Look at that. 3 of Pentacles. I read that as an evidence card. It's a real estate card, but in an investigation, I read it as an investigator presenting evidence to the person who's constructing something. So a case. His hopes and fears is the DOJ. This is Garland's card, and it will result in heartbreak. But man, he is so similar. His personality disorder is so similar to what we see with Biden, or not Biden, excuse me, not Biden, Trump. Sorry about that. His personality is similar to Trump in the sense that he has this, it's going to happen very quickly. Evidence against him is mounting in the next couple of weeks. It was very easy for the DOJ. They got sloppy. It was very easy to find out what happened. I'll show it to you. Rubbing his lamp. He lives in a fantasy world. The investigation was into his money sources. You can see the DOJ, who's his nemesis in his opposition, 8th house, and then where he got the money. That was the investigation. His hopes and fears, the DOJ, and then he has this devil card, which can be changed to an alliance. So maybe it was found out that he was involved with someone underage. Maybe that's part of what chained him to these individuals. He took the money, but there appears to be some stuff about him that could be coming up as well. I've got a hunch, so do a lot of other readers, about what that's about. And then you can see heartbreak happening very quick, which is the Eight of Wands. So yeah, I said, like I said, 2.5 months from the time he gets in, he could be forced out. But it looks like the investigation and the evidence, they're going to have pretty much everything within the next 2 to 3 weeks. What do you think, kids? What do you think? Always blessed. Very good comments here. You guys are asking really great questions. Following the money, following the crypto. 2023, Spirit promised us would be the year of account and reckoning, because now the DOJ, now the feds, they can find this information much more quickly. It's much harder to hide money from the feds than it used to be. And so that's why these cases are happening much faster. Let's see about whether or not the SEC, and they're going to clean up, because Wall Street is a disaster right now. Okay, Wall Street and the SEC. Yeah, it's coming from the SEC. So people who are long-term investors who want the market, they don't like this day trading. They don't like this manipulating of the market. So there are people who are kosher in the market that want the market to follow certain rules. So the market informs on itself. Most people, even people in the market, it's hard to believe, but most people want order and rules. Most of us would love to be rich, but we don't love it enough to be criminals or to screw people over, or most of us want order. So you have the issue of foolish behavior in the past regarding the handling of money, crypto, the market, etc. But you have the other in opposition, which I'm assuming is the SEC and the regulatory commissions coming in a position of power. And the reason why is that people are losing their retirements. They're losing their money. And so there's enough of a growing concern from the people that are in the market. This is a Roth IRA, one's retirement nest egg, and you can see the justice coming in as the final outcome. So yes, again, it keeps going back to the mantra that Spirit keeps telling us about justice absolute, that 2023 is a time that is somber. This is a somber time where if you did something wrong, you better clean it up now, because this is when the proverbial goo hits the fan. This is the energy of 2023 is nothing to play with. It is a very bad people go. Bad things happen to bad people, and it's also a call for all of us to clean up our messes in 2023, because this is, I'm telling you, this is the year of the accounting and the reckoning. If you've got debt, pay it off. If you're living beyond your means, clean it up. If you've got too much stuff, get rid of it. We all have to do that, because that is really the accounting starts and then the reckoning starts. That's what this year is about, gathering it up and dealing with it. You can see here people defending themselves over issues of financial fraud, and you can see again the prosecutors, the SEC, etc., in a position of power over a 1 year. This is like a cleaning up. You can see overprotecting people. People lost money, their Roth IRAs, the truth coming out, the high priestess, and then the karmic wheel again of justice, which again is about this is the time of the accounting and reckoning. Yes, I totally agree with you, Joel, that they are going to go to the big house. That is absolutely what's going to be happening. This is not a time to be playing with karma, not with the justice and the karmic wheel and all the messages we've gotten from spirit about 2023. If I were a criminal with this type of energy coming down, you can feel it also. I mean, like I always tell people, don't take my word for it. Do HCRV. We teach people. We have free access in our playlist. Go down and check for yourself. This is not a time to be on the wrong side of the law. I mean, yeah, it just isn't. Like the film footage now, if people used to be able to cover up crimes against a person's police violence, but now we see everything. We see everything. We see every tear. Now is the time to get our houses in order because everything is coming out. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna call it a day soon. I'm gonna do one more quickie, and then we're gonna call it a day. Joanna Carson wants to know about what's going on in Peru. Yeah, I mean, this goes back to foreign money disrupting South America that was linked back to predominantly Russia. Oil, they were trying, I think, to dismantle oil competition in South America. Did you guys have fun? Caramel popcorn, yeah. Well, I think the next couple weeks, based on the remote, it looks like some kind of prosecution or charges against Santos in about 3 weeks or less. So, but it just never ends. You know, we have to find out what Stefanik knew. Where did this money come from? And it's not just going to end with, read the Mother Jones article where they're finding all these donors that don't exist. Well, how bad is it? Now they have to go and look at every single member of Congress. Like I said, this is not a good year to be doing naughty things because we now have the technology to get to the truth quickly. You know, if somebody is an illegitimate child, all they have to do is put their DNA in and find out, right? We have so much knowledge now. We can missing persons. They find we can get DNA. We can trace crypto. So we've gotten to a point in our knowledge, and then as bad as things are, we're also able to get to the truth much faster. There are criminals right now in Peru that are trying to flee with the money. So that would lead me to think that there was some kind of coup and corruption and bribe that took place inside Peruvian government, and there were criminals and dirty dealings that went on. And the police are coming in. There was an oversight into, they weren't diligent in international criminals. It was international criminals. And they got in pretty deep into Peruvian politics from what it's showing. And it stabilizes within 3 months. You can see here criminal world connections. You can see it resulted in connection with the devil. There's a tower coming. defending themselves against the police or police action, the military. Peace, harmony. There's a new guy coming into power in Peru, and a 3-month period. So it stabilizes in 3 months. So we're now in, we'll say February, March, April, May. We should see things stabilizing in Peru. All right, I think that wraps it up for us. Thank you, everybody that could have tea with me today, hang out, share some positive energy, get out and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, do something positive for yourselves and someone else if you can. Thank you so much to Debbie Brady. If you're trying to get in for a reading, you can go to the links that Debbie has left. I will be getting everybody's Wizio questions out later today. Thank you for your patience. Thank you to Geocosmic Valentine, Joyce Pietris, Debbie Brady, thank you again. Sharon Sipe, thank you so much. Joyce Pietris, Melissa Miller, did I get to everybody? Sharon Sipe, Joel, thank you so much, Joel. It's great to have you on board. All right, be well, everyone. Love yourselves. Have a great rest of the day. I will try and do some mini remotes for you this week on Tuesday at 5 p.m. If you're a member, the join button is below my videos. You have to join. You have to be on a computer. You can't do it if you're on a phone. People have asked, how do you join? The join button is below the videos. If you're at the elders, empaths, and healers level, we'll be doing a talk. I think it's going to be very, very interesting on how we enter into trance states and how we access information in the Akashic records in the trance state. So it ought to be a lot of fun. All right, be well, everyone. We'll see you next time.